on my way to Tralee in the wonderful Irish county of Kerry, along the west coast, for a work-related meeting this morning. It is currently 9:15 and a relatively chilly 6 degrees Celsius. My plan is to just drive straight to Tralee. I was at 92% when I left the house, and it is 85 kilometers or something like that to Tralee. So I'm expecting to actually arrive with probably about 20% left. Whilst there, I will charge my car in my usual spot. Might try a slightly different one. There's one on the map that's kind of puzzling me. It appears to be at some form of an industrial estate, and I'm not entirely sure where to find it, so I'm going to see if I can actually try and find that. I might. I then have a meeting around noonish before I make my way back down to Mallow for the afternoon, and that is the grand scheme of things. So by the time I am back in Mallow, the total distance will probably be about 160 kilometers. I charged the car yesterday, as it was about 25% the day before when I came back from my in-laws, which you saw in the previous episode. So I didn't charge it this morning, hence the 92%. Now, my commute in the mornings is not very far. I'd say, I come home for lunch, so I go to work in the morning, come home for lunch, go back to work, come back in the evening, and I think the total distance is about 10 miles after that. So I'm really in the commuter range of you should really be cycling this. However, driving electric is the second best alternative. I'm hoping the weather in Tralee will be nice. I might go for a walk whilst the car is charging, because there's some lovely coastal walks over there. And I shall report back when I'm in Tralee. from the Lee Valley car park. Sat-nav tried to take me down an absolutely wrong road, but I had a feeling it was down here, so I ignored the sat-nav instructions. The joy of having this particular setup, and this goes for any sat-nav, is that it has the GPS coordinates, but according to the map, it's in a field. So there's no road actually leading up to it. So what you end up with is the sat-nav taking you to the nearest road as the crow flies, which just happens to be up that hill somewhere. Which of course is no good to anyone. So a little bit of local knowledge goes a long way. But anyway, this is a perfectly functioning 22 kilowatt point, which is good. It saves me the bother of having to go elsewhere. However, I think I will do that because due to its location, it's a lovely location if you want to go for a walk. There's a sort of a wetland centre behind us, and I think there's walks through the wetlands, which is nice if you're in for that, but I'm not here for that. So I'm going to unplug. Oh yeah, I don't think I actually showed you guys. I'm at 31% at the moment. I arrived here with 27% left, as I was expecting. I've done a total of, 104 kilometers. So that's very good. I'm quite happy with that. So I think I'm going to relocate to a more suitable location to get some lunch, because I'm a little bit outside of the town at the moment. But it was a good one to try out. I know where it is. It's a good backup should something fail. So yeah, I'll try and get back into the main town and charge up at my usual spot. Now, Mary Street car park. You've seen me use this one before. It's kind of my regular one when I'm here in Tralee, because it's in the city centre. It's generally free. The one near the Bandon, which is a nice location as well, is generally blocked by people working during the day, but that's fine. So I'm going to go and grab some lunch whilst the car is taking on board some fuel itself, and I'm going to go get myself some fuel and then head over to Kerry University Hospital for my my noon meeting. So yeah, weather is not too bad. I was hoping for clearer weather to see if I could do some flying around the place, but no such luck. So I'll do that some other time. Right, break. Now we are finished. Just a little bit less than an hour. I think I was here around, about an hour. Car was at 99% when I came back anyway. Well, at 99%. I have a feeling it was at 99% for quite a while, because it was about, I think when I plugged it in, it was around 30%. So yeah, it would have been at 99% pretty quick. Right, meeting time, and we are on our way back to Mallow. It was a very quick meeting, but we got done what we wanted to do. Tralee has always been, I like going to Tralee. Tralee is a nice town. It was the first town I moved to. My now wife, my then girlfriend, or fiance I should say, was living in Tralee at the time. So it was my first taste of Ireland about 14 years ago. I haven't looked back since, but I always have fond memories of Tralee. So back to Mallow, same route I came in. So back via Castle Island, Borbury, and back to Mallow. Car is at 93%, showing 107 kilometers remaining range, and it's about 85 kilometers to home, so that should be a doddle. No need to wait any longer than I normally would. I had a nice walk in Tralee Town Park, and I had some brunch whilst the car was charging, so no wasted time. Sadly, the weather wasn't as nice as I'd hoped at the time. It's obviously cleared up now, but I don't have the time to hang around. Because there's some lovely areas around Tralee that would look really nice from the air, but maybe perhaps another time. So, on our way back to Mellow. Now we are back. Pretty decent average, 15 kilowatt hour per 100 kilometers and an average speed of 52. That was easy enough. I don't even plan these things anymore because they're just easy, really. So I didn't need the entire hour worth of charge. I mean, it only used 28 kilowatt hour in the whole trip. So I probably would have, half an hour would have done me fine. I would have had, well, obviously I would have had a smaller margin at the end, but I would have gotten home. So yeah, so that was that trip. See you guys later. It's actually funny that my dog knows we're going for a walk-in charge at the Mallow train station. She recognizes where we are. Excitement is slowly building. Now, here we are. Time to plug in and take you for a walk. 13 and a half years old and still acting like she's 2. Now, 1 hour and 5 minutes later, we are at 90%. Time to go home and finish the rest. Good morning, everyone. From a bit of a grey Sunday morning here. I'm on my way to Dublin to visit IKEA. As you may notice behind me, I actually don't have my back seat in, just so I can fit the boxes. I didn't actually remove the seating area, but you can actually apparently remove those as well by just giving them a quick pull on the front. There's apparently 3 hookups that just come loose if you give it a bit of a tug. Didn't need it, considering I'm only transporting cardboard. But on the way over, I'm taking a bit of a detour, as you might be able to tell as I'm not driving on a motorway. I'm taking a bit of a detour. I'm going to take a few pictures for the 2016 edition of the Irish EV Owners Photographic Rally. Now, as some of you may remember, last year I did 29 counties in 4 days in a nice long 4-day drive, which was nice. I enjoyed that. I probably won't have the time to do something similar this year. Time or money, or both. So I'm just going to do a few as and when I pass them, or more or less pass them. The first one is in Bruff, County Limerick, which is a 1916 rising statue in the centre of town. The plan then is to go to Limerick, charge up, before I move on to the Tipperary point, which is just south of Neenah, County Tipperary. A miner's statue, I think there's a silver mine down there. Before the third point, which is the Leash point, is just south of Roscrea, and I'm going to probably be visiting that after I charge up in Roscrea. After that, we're off to Dublin for IKEA. And I think on the way back, depending on how I'm stuck with time, I might do the Carlow and Kilkenny points as well, but that depends on how I'm stuck with time. I don't want to be back at all hours of the day or all hours of the night this evening. But I'm about, about 10 minutes away from the very first point, which is Bruff, County Limerick. I've already done 2 points in this year's photographic rally during a weekend away with the missus. I did the Wexford point, which was a World War II monument in Cam, County Wexford. And the second one, which is my favourite from the list that I've seen so far, was some form of gate entranceway. It was the Waterford Point. I don't exactly remember exactly where it is. It's outside of Cap Quinn, I think. It's an entrance gate. You're driving along this small country road, and all of a sudden there's this gate in front of you over a bridge. It's really, really pretty. So yeah, I've done a few. I'm hoping to do all 32 this year, so all 32 Irish counties, including Northern Ireland. And but I'll have to see how I'm going to go about doing them. So I guess I'll update you guys along the way. Now, just about finished charging. Been here for about 20 minutes now. Everything going fine. Had a bit of a break. I had about 20% left when I got here, so I didn't necessarily need to charge, but I have another, probably about 90k until my next charge point, so I did need to charge. But I'm going to unplug now. 94% is plenty. So the next point is County Tipperary, and then we're going off to Roscrea. That's a fine looking statue. Right. Picture taken on to Roscrea for another top-up charge and the leash point. Now Roscrea, just plugged in, 40% left, but I still need to charge up anyway. So the leash point is next after this, and then on to IKEA. Now we are off 95%, and it is about 90k to my next charge point via the leash point, so that should be no problem. Or actually it's about 107, I've been told here now. So that also shouldn't be a problem, as I will be avoiding motorways just for a quieter, more energy efficient drive, and also because I'm a cheapskate and I'm going to avoid the M7 motorway toll. Right, talk to you guys along the way. Now, I'm just in Naas, dropping off a granny cable that you can see there in the back seat that I used on the Wild Atlantic Way trip, because Phil, who loaned me it, this is actually his Renault Twizy. Yeah, now my wife would actually not want one of these, but I would absolutely love it. Now Phil is actually selling this one, if anyone's interested. It doesn't have a battery lease, so you actually don't rent the batteries. It looks so much fun. It really does. Anyway, on to the charger, grab a cup of coffee, and then on to IKEA. Now charging in Naas, eventually. This charger and many of this model that, well, I'm convinced it's old firmware. I have the habit of, when the battery's warm, which mine is, it doesn't want to start a charge, so the charge starts. The car asks the charger to pause whilst it's spinning up the fans, but instead of pausing, the charger actually stops. So the way around that is to basically keep telling the charger to start a charge, until eventually you end up starting a charge on the charger when the car is actually looking to start a charge, and they end up starting. I'm hearing the fans going, so I know that the charge has started. So I can leave it alone now. Hopefully it'll continue. There is a chance that it'll cut off around 70-80% when it actually again wants to start up the charger, or it might want to pause it again when it wants to start the fans. So that it'll pause it again, and the charger will see this as a cut off. But we will see. I don't need that much. I'm not that far from Dublin, so even if it does cut off, it's no big deal. I think I'm going to grab a cup of coffee in the Costa behind me, and maybe even lunch in the Tesco. Might do that. Yeah, I think we can go 98%. Yeah, that lunch took a little longer than anticipated. Big queue, it kind of happens when you walk into a place around lunchtime. So let's head off to IKEA for some shopping. So I just unplugged in Naas, just leaving the car park now. The estimate range has gone up from, I think it was 121 when I left this morning in Mallow. It's gone up to 157 now after discharge at 98%. So there's a bit more in there. Now that's probably due to the fact that I actually slipstreamed a truck, the truck at first and then a bus on the motorway. The truck was doing about 92 kilometers an hour steady, and the bus then passed him out doing about 105, so I decided to, tuck in behind the bus. Not too close, obviously, because that would be dangerous. But at a respectable distance there, where you would still get a bit of a benefit from the draft coming in, or you can tuck in behind it, so there's less of a wind ahead of you, or none, as it sometimes happens if you go too close. The result of that, obviously, is you use less energy, therefore you can go further. So even though I was doing 105 kilometers an hour, my average consumption at the moment is only 14.3, which is actually quite good. So on to IKEA we go. Right, 4:10, and we are packed. Sort of. It looks rather more impressive than it is. Let me show you. Walk around the outside segment. Yeah, this particular thing is a cabinet door. I'm not entirely sure whether it's easier to keep it upright and free of my armrest, or whether it's better to leave it like this. It won't slide sideways, but it's sort of semi in the way of the actual, gear selector. So I might just put it upright. But anyway, it fits perfectly lengthwise anyway. Right, off home we go. It's easier to have it like this because at least now it won't slide anywhere, and it won't be in the way of either the armrest or the gear lever. Perfect. Time to go. Now, of course, it's been sort of drizzly all day, and then on the way back the sun comes out. Typical. So on my way back home, I'll take the direct route home. It's 4:30. I don't think I'll actually do the other photo rally points, because it'll just end up delaying me by another hour or two. So as you can hear, there isn't much rattling going on, which is good. Might jam on a fairly smooth road at the moment. With regards to charge points, I think I'll do a short stop in Naas, enough to get me down to junction 3, maybe even Port Leash. Might do that. Short stop in Naas, short stop in Port Leash, and then try and get the cattle. Yeah, we'll do it that way, and we'll take the direct route home. Okay, I am at the charger in Naas. Now let me just show you what happens when a Zoe with a hot battery shows up at this particular charger. Now I have to remind people that the charger of the same model number, saying Cashel, it's a newer installation. I'm convinced it runs a newer version of the software. It doesn't have this problem. There are several other chargers, but I won't go through naming them all. A lot of the older installations of the FSX Siemens units have this problem. So let me just plug in and I'll show you what happens. So we scan our card, of course you AC, plug in, press start. So let's do that. Click. Now, this is where the fun begins. We press start. I hope you can hear it. So you'll hear the charger go click when it wants to start charging. There we go. Now, and you'll hear it click again now. Now. Any second now. Maybe that time to cool down and we won't have this problem for another while. That would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? So far so good. It is going to happen again. I know it is. Damn it, that's embarrassing. Huh. It probably cooled down a bit in my time in IKEA. So I guess it'll happen later. Oh well. I'll have to show it to you another time. And it happened. 46%. I was sitting here waiting for it. 46%. The fans at the back spun up, so it actually was hot. So let's see what happens when I press continue straight away. I didn't unplug, I might add. That did work, so you hear the bang again. And it stops. So now, see the way it went back green? So it's gonna go ending process. There you go. So that's the bug I'm talking about. Good. Delighted to see. So the car at the moment is trying to spin up the fans, and I'm trying to time it exactly right so that the car will be looking for a charge whilst the charger is looking for a car, if you know what I mean. So here we go. It might go wrong again. Seems to be going okay. Let me just wait and see if the... No, I hear a click again. Ooh. Process completed. No, it's not you. Stupid excuse for a charger. USB, please fix this, because this is so annoying. And sometimes I have to do this 2 or 3 times. Not sure if you can hear it. Then with the back fans and the front fans are going as well, so it looks like I'm okay. Sorry for the bad filming, folks, but I kind of just grabbed the camera and ran. So that's what keeps happening, and that is the fix, if you can call it that. So what happens in the charger in Cashel in this particular situation, also in junction 3 M8, I think there's another few chargers of those. They're the new installations of the same model number. Is what happens with them is that when the car wants to spin up the fans, it pauses the charge, and the blue light that you saw on the charger there being solid, it starts flashing. It's like the charger's in standby. So it waits for the car to say, okay, I'm ready to receive the rest of the charge. This model doesn't do it. So if you're not with the car, the charge will just stop. No error message, no nothing. It'll literally just stop. It'll complete without error. But if you're with the car, you can do something like what I just did. I just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going. It's not the only thing you can do. It's highly annoying, and I'm quite sure that it can be fixed with a more recent version of the software. So ESB, get it done. Now, as you can tell, I am no longer in my Zoe. This is the Renault Twizy you saw earlier. Phil has been kind enough to let me go for a spin while he's actually going out for a call. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to take this thing for a spin. It's fun. As you noticed, no doors, no windows either. So what you do get is a bit of side splash. Okay, bit of side splash. Not a heck of a lot. It has been like, you do have to watch out with puddles. Yes, you do have to watch out with puddles. Top speed is 85 kilometers an hour. Range approximately the same, I've been told. So 80-85 kilometers. And it is a heck of a lot of fun. It's a very firm ride, so there's very little suspension in it. Let me just put the foot down. 50, 60, 65, and 70. That's it. Oh, this puts a smile on your face. This puts a smile on your face. This so puts a smile on your face. Damn it, I won one. What else can I say? Like I said earlier, this particular one that Phil is selling has no battery lease, i.e. you get the car and there's no monthly payment like I have with mine. The brakes are not too bad. Not too bad, but not as quick and responsive as my car. But then again, you know, these things are meant for going around town and it does that very well. Now, what else can I tell you? It charges in a normal domestic socket. So, yeah, so it's a 3-pin socket. I think Phil was saying it takes about 3 hours for a full charge, thereabouts. Which isn't bad. I mean, you know, they're kind of meant as city vehicles, and it does that very, very well. But it's traffic, which is a bit unfortunate. What I might do is I will go in here, I will pull over, and I'll show you guys around the car. I'm going to just show you around the car. As you noticed, no stereo, heater. Well, you don't need a heater this time of year, but you would probably need a heater in winter. 2 storage cabinets, one unlocked and one locked with the key right there. Yeah, still has a key, which is a bit unfortunate as such. Let's see now, it has windscreen wipers that you would normally expect, indicators, horn, everything like that, they're normal. Handbrake is over here, so you literally just push it, you push down the brake, you put this out, and it has, well, it has a handbrake. There are actually 2 seats, you might notice behind me. Yeah, now you can sit there, but I do think you'll get wet, especially considering there's no doors. Other than that, there is the charging cable, which is underneath here, as is your screen wash. As I said, normal 3-pin domestic socket, so charging is easy. There is also a storage cabinet underneath here, which normally, apparently, there's a charging cable for the public charge points. Normally, apparently, this locks a bit better in place, but apparently the previous owner broke something, I was told, but that's okay. There you go. That clicked into place, didn't it? Then you have another lock here, and this comes out, so you can actually stick something in there. I'm not entirely sure what you'd stick in there, but, you know, it all works. And to be quite honest, I would love one. Okay, this is my pathetically filmed and very short review of a Renault Twizy. Verdict, brilliant. Because of the rough suspension, speed bumps are a bit rough. No maps found. That can't be good. It appears to have lost the SD card. It's a good thing then that I know where I'm going. But yeah, that can't be good. Now I'm not sure whether it's the actual SD card that it has lost or whether it has lost the entire USB hub. I did have my phone in there plugged in, although that shouldn't actually have any impact, but you never know. Now, Manor Stone. Charger here just paused for the actual fans to spin up rather than stop. So hopefully that'll continue. Oh, hang on. It just stopped. That's not good. Let's try that again. Okay, so I've just restarted the charge to see if it actually continues. Whilst I was talking to you last, it actually briefly flashed up a battery charge impossible. Let's see if it actually works this time. Yeah, here come the fans. That's a good sign anyway. Long may it continue. Right, break time. So, all finished in a manner stone. It worked fine after that little glitch. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. It briefly showed up a battery charge impossible error. It looked like it was going to continue, but I already had my finger on the button, so I unplugged it and restarted the charge, and it went fine then. So I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Right, I'm at 80%, so that's more than enough to get down to Cashel. The entire restaurant over there was absolutely packed. People coming back from some form of sports match, I'd say. So let's hope Cashel will be a little quieter, and I might go and treat myself to McDonald's. Now in Cashel, 19% left. Just plugged in. There's a lovely non-EV Volkswagen standing, next to this spot in another electric car only spot. So I guess if somebody wants to charge next to me, they're just gonna have to wait until this little fucker moves. Excuse my language. Right, so yeah, break time I suppose. McDonald's is awfully tempting at this hour today. It's 7:45. It's the one drawback in inverted commas of driving an electric car. You generally end up stopping a heck of a lot of times right next to a fast food place. What can we do? Now, and after about 25 minutes, I'm at 95% and ready to go home. Now, sadly, my maps are still not working, so that probably means my SD card ended up dying. It's a good thing I've got a backup then, eh? But it is a little bit funny how these things go. I don't think I've ever had an SD card. No, I haven't had an SD card actually die on me. Anyways, that's something that can be fixed. I'll make sure it is actually the SD card, before I actually buy a new one. I still have my original one, so yeah. So I'll make sure that it is actually the SD card and not the actual hub. That would be worse. So, on my way home, estimate range at the moment is saying 100 kilometers because I basically booted it from junction 3 down to here, as in 120 kilometers an hour cruise control, because I just want to get home at this stage. So I guess I shall call it a day for this episode. The next part of my journey will be pretty uneventful, and I think you're pretty sick and tired of seeing statistics, so I'll just stick up a photo at the end of this video showing you the distance that I've driven today and all that kind of stuff. I've mostly driven pretty economical. I haven't really used air conditioning, but I kind of threw caution into the wind and booted it from junction 3 to here. So that was the only reason why I was at 20% and not at, 50. But yeah. So I guess I'll see you guys next time. Please like, subscribe, and if you've got any comments, please put them down below. Thank you for watching. See you next time.